How to set up your Thunderbird's email account, what information you're going to need, where to get the software from, and how to set up those accounts. We're going to go through two methods. One's going to be if you a more manual way. So if your email settings do not allow what they call auto discovery, and then we'll do the auto discovery. That uses less settings, easier to set up, but not all email accounts and hosting suppliers give you that information. So we'll do both. So we've got you covered. So first, where do you get the software from? So if we go to, if you Google and then Thunderbird email, it's basically a client. What you want to do, make sure that you actually get it from the right location. So you're looking for thunderbird.net. That's the current. So if you Google it or searching being whatever your preferred software is, just make sure you get it from the right location. Because it's open source and free software, lots of people, or unsavory people, have downloaded it, put it on their own website, maybe manipulated with the software. So the idea is that potentially you could get infected. So just make sure you get it from the right location, and yes, sound. So the website currently looks like this. Again, just make sure it's thunderbird.net. I've already downloaded it. So if you go to the application, once you've downloaded it to wherever the download folder, we won't go through the whole process of that, so I'll quickly shoot through that. Where you want it to, if you click run, as if this is the first time you've done it. So if we click run, we'll let, well, it's going quite quickly, so we'll let it do what it wants. Yes, give permission to go through that. And we'll go next. Again, read the terms and conditions and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you're happy with them. We'll go with the standard installation. I'm going to deselect this. I'm currently using Outlook and I've got 7 or 8 accounts already on that. My plan is to migrate over to this in the future, but at the moment I'm just installing this, so I still need the other one as my default. I actually pay for that one. Over time I will probably migrate away from that, but in the meantime, so I'm just deselecting as my default email program. If this is your only one, just leave that ticked, and when you open or click on links to generate an email, it'll open this application automatically if it's not already opened. That's now dropped an icon on the desktop. Now we'll launch, so we'll say finish. That will now launch the program. Then now that's all installed, it might prompt you immediately to enter the new email details. If not, if you go to the left hand side towards the bottom, you'll see account settings. If you click on that, and then again stay at the bottom, you've got account actions. If you click on the drop down, add a new mail account. Again, you can put chat accounts in here, you can put news groups, and obviously RSS feeds and stuff like that. But if we just go to add new mail account, we want the name of the account. So you should have been issued, to set up an email account, you're going to have, obviously, it'll be your name or the business name. Use something that's relevant, so when the person gets it at the other end, if it is a business, so Joe Blogs Restaurant or whatever, that can be the name. Obviously the actual email address, the password. Then you're going to have your incoming and outgoing servers, and you may be issued some port numbers. So that's it. So it's going to be 4 or 5 settings you're going to need. So the first one is the name of the person or the company. So it's Tintin. Tintin's email is tintin@flavors.co.uk. The password, then we'll drop the password in. I will show you. I will change the password. So, and again, don't use, this isn't the password you use. You use the password that you've been issued. Make sure when you copy it, there is no spaces at the end of it or before it, because you don't want a blank character giving you a headache because it can't be configured, because it would see that blank, the space, as a character. So just make sure there is no space after the relevant characters. Now we'll press continue. I know this won't auto detect, so now it's going to go into a manual mode in a moment, he says confidently, and ask me to put the manual details in to configure this email. So the details we were given is the host name, is the domain name. Now yours might be mail.yourdomain name. And the port number, if I go to SSL, it is 993. The username in this case, and again, yours might just be the email address. In this case, it's not. The email address, the characters have been replaced with hyphens in this particular instance. The, again, host name is the domain name. Again, yours might be smtp.domain name. The port number on this one, 465, and it's SSL. The reason this was configured like that, we wanted a bit more tighter security. We were working with solicitors and lawyers, and we didn't want to go with a normal way of setting up the emails. And some people, or some service providers, still use this particular method. So now we've got all of that information in there. We'll go with normal password, and that should be it. We could retest, but we don't need to. I'm just going to press done. That should take us right. So the account has been successfully created. So the email is Tintin, the name of the person is Tintin, and that's their email, and it's in IMAP. IMAP and POP3, without boring you, IMAP, everything is mirrored on the server. So if you've got this, and again, the same settings you would use on your mobile phone. So if you've got an iPhone or an Android, use the native app and put the relevant settings in there. If it doesn't auto-detect, follow the same thing, but on your device. I will leave links to how to set it up on a mobile, if that's of interest. That's all done. So IMAP, all the emails are actually mirrored on the server, and then mirrored on your phone, and mirrored on the computer you download them. So they don't physically download them, it just keeps a mirror of them. Unlike POP3, which will actually pull them down the server, and after, depending to your settings, after 7 days or 14 days, they'll actually purge the server, so they will no longer be available on the server. So POP3 and IMAP, slightly different settings. Finish. Oh, by the way, one thing worth bearing in mind when you do have, when you're using emails, you don't have an endless supply of storage space. So a lot of people think they'll just, never manage their deleted items, or, send large emails from their phone. That actually over time is just going to fill in your inbox or your mailbox. If you think of your mailbox as a one box which can store folders, it can store incoming, outgoing, deleted items. Over time, that's going to fill up if you don't manage it. I will leave linked to a video on how to best manage your email account so you don't run out of space. So I'm using Outlook, so I'm going to send Tintin an email. This is test, and the time at the moment is 23:42-ish. So we'll just send that to Tintin. Now, if we go to Tintin's inbox, I did test this the other day. So that's, I will do a video on walking you through this, and there's that email just been received. I will do a video on Thunderbirds and the different tools within Thunderbirds, things like you've got here, address book, calendar, tasks, chat, and all that kind of stuff. And I'll video walking you through each of the tools, because the platform itself, or this software, has improved dramatically over the years. It did look a bit outdated probably about 6-7 years ago. The improvements they've made is amazing. So now we'll add another account. So if we go and find settings, now you'll see there's a cog there for settings. That's because that was a previously open window. So I'm going to close that. So as if we've just opened it. Now if we go down to the bottom corner, you'll see there's an arrow pointing in. If we click that, that'll bring a ribbon down the side there. If we click the cog, go to account settings. Now we are adding a second email address. This, you might be doing the same thing. So you may have accounts at your business, and you may have sales at your business, and you might be bringing them through the same computer. In this case, we're setting up a separate email, and this is for Alan Tracy. Now, I'm using particular names. If you know where the characters are from, it's a TV series. So again, left-hand side towards the bottom, account settings, add a mail account. This account is for Alan Tracy. Now, Alan Tracy's is on a different server. Alan Tracy's email address is alantracy@findout.live, and Alan's email is test. Now, I know this server we've set Alan on has auto detect, so it will go, if I, same as before, if I say press continue, it will now detect. It's now picked up the relevant server details and all that kind of stuff. All I've got to do now is confirm, do I want IMAP or do I want POP3? I'm going to have IMAP, and I don't need to configure manually. Press done. That's Alan's email now set up. If I press finish, now these are in two separate boxes. So we've got Tintin, so we have a Tintin's account there, and we have Alan's account there. So if I go to Alan's inbox, and let's not leave Alan out. So if I do a new email, again, this is via Outlook. So again, if you know Alan Tracy and Tintin, what TV program it was from, leave it in the comments. We'll do a test, and the time is at the moment 23:46, and we'll send that. If you are finding this video helpful, do give us a thumbs up. That's already in, and don't forget to tap subscribe, so that way you don't miss out on any new videos. I'm going to show you how you can now put signatures on, and so you have personalized emails, and also a walk around on the platform, and more importantly, how to actually manage this so this doesn't fill up with junk and stuff like that. So there's Alan email we've just sent. That's just come in. That's immediate. So that's how you set up Thunderbirds. Hopefully that was helpful. I'll see you in the next video.